What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forge for Greatness. I'm your host, Chris LaForgia. This podcast is for the builders, the creators, and the underdogs who are forging their own path. It's not just about the wind, it's about the pressure, the process, the mistakes we all make along the way, and the moments that actually forge us. Today, I brought on my friend again, Angelo from Rizzitello Removals, for a very special episode for Father's Day, for all the fathers out there and the children of the fathers out there.
Yeah.
So I want to dive right into things. I'm going to ask you a very powerful question to start the show.
Jesus.
But before I do that, I'm going to read a caption on an Instagram and Facebook post for the birth of my daughter, Giovanna Grace, born last week, June 12th, 2026. Giovanna Grace, welcome to Team LaForgia, Gigi. That's her nickname.
That's my wife's nickname, and that's my daughter's nickname. I love that.
Love it. You, your brother Lorenzo, and your mommy are everything to me. My purpose has become even greater now. My promise to both of you is that I'll do everything in my power to be the kind of father you're proud to call dad, the kind whose face lights up when you see him, and whose memory makes your face light up when you talk about him years from now. I can't wait to watch you and your brother grow, learn, and chase your dreams together. Officially a girl dad. Legacy, love, family. Now, my question to you, years from now, you have two kids, right? A son and a daughter.
Yep.
Years from now, when you're using a cane going on
Might be a couple years from now.
going on junk removals, or maybe, when you've passed on to the other side, what do you hope your son, your daughter, both of them say about you?
First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to start off with that, and happy soon-to-be Father's Day. I could see you're trying to get me back and make me shed a tear this episode, because that was a very nice thing that you wrote on your post. To answer your question, I think the most important thing would be that they just knew I was there for them, and that I did everything in my power to give them the best life that they can have, and that I worked as hard as I could, and I broke my back, and everything was for them and their mother, and just to set them up, and just so that one day when they have kids, they're good, and they have grandkids, they're good, and that I taught them well to be good people, honest people, hardworking, and that's really it. The situation with my daughter, we spoke about it. So specifically for my son, because inevitably, it's like the biggest fear for a parent that has a kid with autism is that, like, you pass away before them, who's going to take care of them and who's going to look out for them? And I would honestly, I think about this all the time, because we didn't know we were going to have another kid. We just finally decided, let's do it. But before that, I was like, I have nieces and nephews that are great and everything. But for my son, I just want him to make me one promise, and that's that no matter what path he chooses in life, what he decides to do, how he turns out, that he promises me he'll always be there and looking out for sister. And that's the main thing. But for both of them, I would just want them to know that I was there for them and did everything I could to make their lives better.
I love it. If you could sum it up in one word, like when they're speaking about you years from now, again, like whether you're still here or you've passed on to the other side, if you could sum it up in one word that they tell other people about you, what would that word be? Or what do you hope that word would be?
Fiercely loyal.
There's two words, but we'll count it.
So one word, loyal. I mean, loyal is more like a kind of a friend and wife thing. For a kid,
yeah,
one word's hard to decide, like how they would summarize me. Just I don't know. Present, maybe. Just there in the moment, and I enjoy every step of watching them grow.
Love it. I love it, man. So we're going to go back in time now, and you mentioned your grandfather. I don't know if it was on your mom's side or your father's side. Which grandfather?
About what?
You mentioned in the past episode about, you wish he was still here, and
Oh, both of them. They both passed away. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess just describe to me what they both were like and how they
Oh.
paved the road for you.
So here, pick one. What do you want me to start with? My mom or dad's father?
Your mom's father.
Okay. So my mom's father was the one I mentioned in that episode that my grandparents were born and raised in Newark. My mom's father was the only one who was born and raised in the Bronx. But, when he met, I don't know, I honestly don't even know how he met my grandmother. He moved to Newark, and that's where they spent their whole life. That's where they raised their kids, whatever. So he was in the Navy. They're the World War II generation. He went to the Navy. He was a Navy CB. That stands for Construction Battalion. And I learned, I'm not like a military buff or anything. I just learned through talking to people that they were like pretty badass. Like they were literally building stuff. They were handy people building stuff while they were under fire for like the troops. He was also, fun fact, a professional boxer.
No shit.
I literally have his boxing card. We have newspaper articles. He fought in Madison Square Garden. He's literally fought in Madison Square Garden. He sparred with Jake LaMotta. I met Jake LaMotta, who's a legend. And my dad was like hooked up with the Sports Hall of Fame in New Jersey. We met Jake LaMotta, Joe Frazier, all these guys.
What's his full name?
Who?
Your grandfather.
Oh, so his name is Angelo Rizzitello. I was named after him because I was born on his birthday, July 21st.
There you go.
So I was named after him. My name was supposed to be Michael and my middle name Angelo. But my mom said if he's born on my father's birthday, we're going to name him Angelo.
That's crazy.
And so this story, it's great. So, he was awesome. But he was a professional boxer. And when he met Jake LaMotta at the New Jersey Sports Hall of Fame, they were talking about, because Jake LaMotta's from the Bronx. So they knew each other. He sparred with him. Like, he was like a legend in his own sense with that. Not many people could say that a grandfather was a professional boxer. My grandfather was crazy shape. Like, I'm talking 90-something years old, still shoveling snow. He had a pacemaker. Didn't matter.
Ripped, shredded?
Well, when he was young, I have pictures of him when he was boxing and when he was in the military, like ripped. Yeah. Which is crazy because he was born in the 1920s.
Not when he was 90, though. He wasn't ripped.
No.
All right.
He looked good. Better than I'm sure, God willing, I make it to the 90s, I'll look. But, so he was in the Navy. He was a professional boxer. Then he became a truck driver throughout his life. But he was a very, soft-spoken guy. Like, he was tough as nails.
Yeah.
Soft-spoken. And he was a big family man. Both my grandfathers were.
What's the one or two lessons that you got from him?
From him is that if I ever make an excuse for any kind of being tired, whatever, then I don't even deserve to breathe the same air he did, because and not that he throws that in your face, he was not like that at all. He was the most humble person in the world, but he just was a physical specimen from, I guess, the boxing or whatever.
Yeah.
So he adopted the name, we call him Grandpa Gene. His name's Angelo. No one ever called him Angelo. We call him Grandpa Gene, and it was because his brother died in the boxing ring, and his name was Eugene, I think, or Gene, and he just took his brother's name. So my whole life, he's Grandpa Gene.
Yeah.
But his name was Angelo Rizzitello, and I was named after him because we were born on the same birthday.
Love it. So the biggest lesson that you took from him is just, no matter what life throws at you, just to be tough as nails and weather the storm and just keep going.
Because and this goes for both my grandfathers. They were family men, which was a big lesson for me. They loved their wives dearly, their kids, their grandkids. I would say for him, they both gave me kind of the same lessons of hard work and all that. Mm-hmm. But what I take from him and his profession of what he did was just this guy's tough as nails. He's just can you imagine? So I don't want to shovel snow now. I'm 38 years old, going to be 39. He's 90-something years old.
And he's out there.
And I was his next door neighbor when I lived in Newark, because they owned two 4-family houses right next to each other.
Yeah.
So I lived in one on the other side, and my whole family lived in the other. So
you guys were all together.
Oh, we were together. Yeah. He was great.
And your father's father?
My father's father, he's nuts. He's more of like the entrepreneur type.
Okay.
He was in every business you could imagine.
So maybe that's where you got your.
He always my dad has two siblings. I have an uncle and an aunt, and my aunt always talks to me and tells me, she's like, every time I did any kind of business in my life, any kind of investment, anything, she was like, your grandfather would be 100% in on that. So his story is, he also went, I think he went to the Air Force, World War II generation.
Yeah.
Obviously he was born in 1921. He was the oldest of my grandparents. But all my grandparents lived, so he lived, I don't want to get this wrong, he lived to be like maybe 94.
90s.
My
Okay.
other grandfather, 90 something.
Yeah.
His wife, the one we're talking about now, my father's mother, she lived to be in her 90s, and my mother's mother lived to be in her late 80s. So they all had like pretty long lives. But so this grandfather went to the Air Force, very big entrepreneur. He owned a florist shop in Newark. He owned a club in Newark. He owned a luncheonette in Newark. He owned an exterminating business in Newark. He owned property all over, and he did very well. He was just like so fun. I remember one time we were in the basement at my where I grew up in Bloomfield, and he's like, my brother just got into like boxing or whatever. My brother's 4 years older than me.
He's sparring with him?
No, with me. My brother got a heavy bag and like a speed bag. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I just started getting into it, hitting it, whatever. My grandfather, I remember, he had a rings. He had a pinky ring that was the size of my face. It was insane. And I remember he just put his hands up, and I guess he overextended and actually hit me in the face with his ring. But he was so funny. He was hilarious.
What was his full name?
So they actually messed up on his obituary card, and they said his name was Nicholas Rizzitello. That's my dad's name. His name's not Nicholas. His name was Nicola.
Nicola, okay.
Yeah, so everyone called him Nick, though.
Yeah.
So he was Grandpa Nick. There was Grandpa Gene and Grandpa Nick.
Gotcha.
But his name was Nicola. Nicola with an A.
Okay. What are the one or two lessons that you extracted from him?
Just make your own way. Start a business. Put everything into. He had a very successful. His businesses were very, very successful.
Yeah.
He did so good, and he made investments too. Like, I was late on that whole thing with stocks and stuff. He used to always try to teach me and my brother about it.
Yeah, bonds and stocks. And...
We didn't know, and weren't interested. But he had when my grandmother got sick, he had money saved away for her. Now, he already passed away. She had to have live-in aides with her, like home, like the ladies that take care of you 24/7. And he had the money, like he had stocks in the original cigarette companies. Like, he knew what he was doing. He was ahead of his time with that, the investments and all that. And like I said, the properties. And yeah, he was a very funny person.
A real hustler for his generation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I love it. So, with all these lessons, is there anything that you wish... No, let me rephrase that. As you got older, is there one of those lessons that you really appreciate the most now that you didn't appreciate when you were younger and when they were still alive and present?
Not lessons that they necessarily taught me. I mean, I've learned lessons in life that I appreciate way more now, and we touched up upon that last time. But no, like I said, I mean, they're both family men. They're both extremely hard workers. And like I previously mentioned, like that's how they were role models to me. So I developed my business based on like kind of what I saw. Like I just adapted to them. I kind of, in my own way, I became like not attracted. What's the word I'm saying? Like I was able to relate to each of them in their own different ways, and I took from my grandpa Gene and from my grandpa Nick, I took everything that like I saw from them and I kind of applied it. And that's kind of how I am. Like, and that's how I run stuff, and I'm grateful for it. They were good parents, good husbands, great to me, my brother, they were amazing. Like, it was nuts.
I love it. Now, before we transition into you as a father, your father, Nicholas, right?
Nicholas, yeah. And it's Nicholas.
Yeah.
It's not Nick, it's Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Yeah, he's a big Nicholas guy.
Okay. talk to me about your father and the lessons that you've taken from him that were either passed down from your grandparents or came from him originally.
So my father, the one thing I could say about him, he is as straight as an arrow. There is nothing like he is. You cannot corrupt that guy. You cannot do anything. He was always by the book. He always set an example of like to do what's right. So I picked up that from him. And like we obviously previously touched up, I'm not going to make it seem like he was a drill sergeant because he wasn't, but he was, big on discipline, held us accountable, which I appreciate.
No cursing. I
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? So don't get me started here.
Did he get pissed when he watched the episode?
No, he actually told me multiple times that he really loved the episode. I think it's because, I don't know, I assume maybe because I gave him credit he didn't expect it, or that I talked about my grandparents. But he actually, my parents, like I said, are big supporters of me, so they really loved that episode. And I have people in my family. I didn't send it to people.
Yeah.
My parents knew it was coming and whatever. But like I have cousins and aunts and uncles that all reach out to me like, "Oh, that was so nice." And I'm like, "What the hell did you find?" I know it's my mom. My mom, she knows. Everyone knows. But no, my father was big with the discipline, but he was always there for us. He was always present. You know what? I didn't say this in the last episode, and I want to say this now. So my dad's obviously going to see this one. But my dad, in high school, I wrestled and I played baseball. Now that I think about it, my dad owned his own business and he was, working very hard. I don't think my dad has ever missed one game. Not one.
Wow.
You know how hard that is? Not one. And at the time, you don't appreciate that. Like, because, I don't know, you're young, you don't even really see it. But now that I think about it, that's what I want. That's what I was telling you I want to do. I'm not getting choked up. That's what I told
I think you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it again. That's what I want for my kids. I want them to one day be able to say, my dad didn't miss shit.
Yeah.
Like he was there for everything. And we don't have that kind of like lovey-dovey relationship, like some people do. Our family's not like that. But like we know, without saying it, we know we love each other. But I want to give him credit if he sees this, that I recognize that he is. I truly can't think of one time in my life where he's missed a sporting event.
I love it.
Yeah,
I could say the same about my father.
That's awesome.
Throughout my soccer career, in high school, and beyond high school, my father drove me to every practice, every game.
Yeah.
Watched every practice, every game.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard, we talked about this, but it's hard. Like, it's so hard. You're trying to, get your business going or do whatever, make money for your family. But, kids have activities for everything. Like, you don't even get a weekend off. So it's extra hard, I think, now for parents. But, yeah, man, my dad was present. And for my brother, too. It's not just me. I have a brother I mentioned, and anything he did, my dad was there for. So I got to give him credit for that.
So transitioning now, right? Before you became a father, who was Angelo?
Can I plead the fifth in some of these questions? Before I became a father?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I'm a bad person, but I was fearless, careless. I'm still the same way in the sense that I do my thing, like I said, and I don't like let anyone dictate what I do. But I did mention in the last episode that my kid saved my life, and that's that might be the truest thing I've said, because great upbringing and all that, like we touched upon, but I made mistakes, and I was always a loyal friend, always a good person in that sense, but I was just fearless. Once I broke that barrier, I was just I didn't care about repercussions about things I did, and that's like not the bad side, but that's one side of it. But the other side of it, I'm not trying to make myself sound like I'm some monster. I definitely wasn't. But I was always the same guy, like hardworking. I always was hardworking. I always was very resilient. And if I wanted something, I did it, and I went out and got it. And
You just had other priorities.
yeah, I mean, no, I was immature. That's what it
Yeah.
was. I was so immature as a kid. Well, I guess all kids are, but like the kid. So marrying my wife was one thing, right?
Mm.
And then when we have kids, it's one thing like you marry somebody, she's still an adult, like, right? She can at any time, be like, oh, this kid's not, or leave or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you have kids, that's when it's like, listen, this is everything now is for them. It's about them. So, like I said, like you can't get yourself jammed up. You can't do stupid stuff. You can't lose your job. You can't flip out. Can't get into road rage. You
Yeah.
can't do any of that. You have to like sit back and be like, I'm a man. We're talking about, this is a Father's Day episode,
Yep.
right? Be a man. You're a man. You brought kids into this life. You have to be there for them. So you can't get in trouble. You can't make stupid decisions. Everything you have to do is for them. So like before I had my kids, I didn't have
It was
that.
selfish.
Yeah,
You were selfish.
selfish, or like I just didn't have worries. Like I didn't have any cares. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't care. So and I grew up in an area where like I had a lot of friends that like we talked about, we went down dark paths or whatever, passed away, and it was just like I would never. I love where I grew up, and I would never change that. I love being from where I was, but with that came like challenges, and I'm happy I made it.
So you said that your firstborn, your daughter, saved your life. Like, touching on that again, what changed the most after her birth?
Just knowing when I saw her, and I was like, me and my wife created this, and it's my responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. That's what just, I had an immediately, like a switch went off where I was like, this girl is my entire life.
Yeah.
And everything I do is going to be for her, and I'm going to set her up, and everything's going to be great. And that's what it really was. That changed me. All it took was to hold my daughter for the first time, immediately changed everything.
So I got some tougher questions right now for you. So,
Tougher. Jesus.
what's been your biggest challenge as a father of two?
Okay. Whew. My biggest challenge. So obviously, I'm in a unique situation, so I'm going to take this two ways.
Yeah.
My biggest challenge, if you look at it from a regular standpoint for a regular parent, is probably just like that, determining that fine line where, again, I touched up briefly about this in the last podcast, where I said that I was happy that my dad acted as a father and not my friend. That's the path I'm going with. I want my kids to be able to come to me with anything. I don't want them to ever be scared to tell me something, even if they think they're going to get in trouble, if they think it was bad. I want that relationship because I think it's beneficial for both of us.
Yeah.
But on the same note, I don't want them to think they can just do whatever the hell they want to do and it's going to be okay because they told me. So like I think the hardest part from a regular standpoint is to make that line in the sand where it says, listen, I'm your father. I'm not your friend, but also I got your back. So like trying to like balance that out where you're an authoritative figure, but you're also compassionate and whatever. That's the number one thing. My biggest challenge realistically is my daughter's situation. I have a 7-year-old daughter who's autistic nonverbal. If you don't know that, if you don't have that, we can't have a conversation where you'll ever understand it. You never will. It is like, you want to talk about having your patience tested and your faith questioned. It's just, and listen, let me be clear about something. I'm not saying my daughter is like this crazy. She is the sweetest girl in the world. I love her dearly. But I'd be lying if I said that you lose your patience here and there. And well, our life is completely different than the average parent. It's completely different forever, right? Forever. And no parent obviously signed up for that, but I'm actually very fortunate that me and my wife are her parents. And I'm not going to go down rabbit holes in this and that, but I'm going to just tell you something briefly. When I used to be an Essex County Sheriff from 2008 to 2011, that was my first career, was an Essex County Sheriff. And unfortunately for me, there was all different divisions I worked in. Some of them were DIFUS court. And I had to sit through DIFUS court and hear things that would scar your brain forever.
Permanently. Yeah.
Like if I want to, I can't get images and testimony and all that out of my brain. The stuff that people do to children, it just was horrific. And I didn't even have kids at the time. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I think about it now, I'm like, all right, were the parents just crazy? Were they normal and just snapped? They lost it. They lost their patience. And I think you have to be a certain type of person. God only I think God gave me and my wife, my daughter, because he knew we could handle her. And we're both super patient. Like, me and my wife are very patient, and we will move mountains for her. And we've done every kind of thing you can think of. I paid for doctors that we never even met in person. They Skyped us from Florida. I'm paying them $1,000 a pop because they don't take insurance, just to try to find things out.
Yeah.
Holistic doctors. We've done everything in the world that you can imagine. Turned every stone. I got to give my wife credit. She is amazing mother for my daughter. But that is realistically, me personally, not the average parent, me personally, was our biggest thing. But that's all we know. You have to understand, that's all I know. I have a daughter for 7 years. My daughter never said hi to me. I can't have a conversation with her. So just picture that. Like, can you imagine? You take things for granted. You think one day, all right, I'm going to be able to teach my son how to play sports. I'm going to walk my daughter down the aisle. I'm going to go to her prom. She's going to get married. That's not it for us. We don't have that. We don't even have a daughter we can ask how her day was. So you can imagine the fear you get with that. She can't tell you what bothers her. If she has a stomach ache, a headache, she can't tell you if something happened at school when you weren't there. So you think the worst case scenarios. And but I gotta say, I want to give a shout out to her first school was Every Peace Counts in Livingston. That was the school I was supposed to do the trunk or treat at. And
Okay. Yeah.
And now she goes to a place in West Orange because she aged out of there called Garden Academy. And they both have helped us so much, have helped her more importantly so much. And they have dedicated people that went to school for this and she made so much progress. So I want to give them a shout out. Garden Academy in West Orange, Every Peace Counts in Livingston. But that, again, I don't want to go off on this side rail, but that's realistically was our biggest thing. But then we got genetic testing done. We waited. Like, our kids my daughter's 7, my son's 9 months. So they're a little over 6 years apart. That wasn't our goal. Our goal was originally like, we're going to have maybe 2 kids and they'll be 2 or 3 years apart.
2 or 3 years, yeah.
But life throws you shit and you got to adapt to it and you got to overcome it and you got to keep fighting and you got to, that's why, like, I have a lot of faith. Like, why I'm big on family, because this is my life. This is what, and people don't understand. If there's anyone who watches this and they have a kid who's autistic, nonverbal, any kind of special needs, they're going to get it. Like, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
What you're dealing
and
with.
And, like, you're talking about sleepless nights. Like, I went 3 days sometimes almost with, like, 3 hours of sleep in the beginning. So, like, and then you got to go to work.
Yeah.
You got to make money.
You got to provide.
But she's the sweetest girl in the world. And she's amazing. I love her. And she's like a spitting image of me.
What has she taught you about yourself?
She taught me that I could be challenged, like you have no idea, and overcome it. Like, and that she taught me that I also have unconditional love for my own. Like, there's nothing my daughter can do. She has these funny quirks, right? So, like, and all my friends know this. It's hilarious. She goes through these phases where, I don't know if it's her OCD or what, but there was one phase where she had to unplug everything that was plugged into the wall. Everything. You have your phone charging, before you know, you're like, why is my phone dead? Oh, it's unplugged. The coffee maker. Why is the coffee maker not on? She unplugged it.
Oh my God.
Everything in the wall was unplugged. It was just one of her OCDs.
Yeah.
All the picture frames in the house at another point had to be turned down. So she goes to my mother-in-law's house, my parents' house, all their picture frames, wherever she goes, turned down. Her newest thing is she goes in my bathroom, she takes the towel off the rack, she puts the tissue box down, she puts the soap container down. Now she's throwing shit over my neighbor's fence. So
Stop.
bro, I went outside the other day and I'm watching her. She doesn't see me watching her. She's just trying to launch stuff over the fence. Now I have
What kind of stuff? Just like random things in the
most
backyard?
random things you can imagine. I went to my neighbor's yard. We had a ladle there. We had tongs there. There was a slinky, a coloring book, a ball. Everything was over the fence.
Do you like your neighbors?
They get she actually. So my daughter loves balloons. When we go,
No, that's a genuine question though.
No,
Do
yeah,
you like
yeah,
your
yeah,
neighbor?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
I was gonna say it's all right then.
No,
if you don't like them.
the lady Debbie right next to me, she's awesome. So it's funny that you said that because my daughter loves balloons. So if we go to ShopRite once a week, like when we go food shopping, she sees a balloon with the clip on it. She wants one. So we always get her one. It'll be a happy birthday one.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
go up to her and be like, "Oh, happy birthday." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not her birthday. She just wants the balloon." So she was throwing the balloons over the yard. And the only reason I knew is because the balloon is just tall enough where when she launches it over the yard, I can see it kind of floating above it, like on the weight. So my neighbor texts me. She goes, "Hey, the balloon bandit's at it again. Your balloon's in my yard." She's saying it like that.
Yeah,
She knows the
That's
situation.
so funny.
But yeah, so she goes through these little quirks, and sometimes like you're like, "Oh my God, you could have the worst day in the world," and you're like, "All I need is just to go home and be in peace and not have to clean anything." And she'll do all this stuff. She throws stuff in the washing machine. I go to do laundry, slinky, coloring book, a ball. Everything, the tongs, everything is in my wash machine. I have to empty everything out, put my clothes in. And it kind of like makes me laugh. Like when I feel like I'm about to lose my patience, I laugh because I'm like, she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And I
what
try to
she's
make
doing.
the best of her situation.
You just brought back some memories for me. Not related, but somewhat related. Just growing up on 8 Petrie Drive, bro. I hate it. My next door neighbor. We all hate it. My next door neighbor.
I hope they're not still there.
I don't think so. They've either moved or they're onto the other side now.
I know the area where you were from, and all those people over there seem like they're all right. So
Yeah.
they probably moved.
But long story short, I used to throw.
We're good, right? There's 3 colors here.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
I used to throw like when I would have friends over, we would throw rocks, like the big like fucking rocks, the river rocks. We would throw them into the next door neighbor's pool because I hated them.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe that's why they hated you, but you did that because you hated them.
Yeah, I hated them.
I got you.
And kick like balls all over their fucking yard. Yeah. But anyway, a little nostalgic moment for me. So what advice would you give me, now a father of 2? Just general advice. What advice would you give
Just
me?
always choose your family over everything else in life. It's so simple. That's it. Just choose them over everything else in life. In perspective, you got to make money, right? We talked about this. I'm not saying that like you can never work because your son has something, your daughter has something, but just be a good father. I always say, like, I'm not encouraging you not to be not to be a good husband, but I don't judge people. But if I were to judge somebody, it'd be on how they are as a father, not as a husband. Because you're married an adult, but you brought kids into this world, so that's your responsibility. Yeah. So if you could just be a good father and be present for both of them, and it's cool because you're in the same situation as me, obviously a little different, but you have a boy and a girl, so you're gonna experience both things.
Yep.
God willing, you're gonna be able to experience the whole girl walking her down the aisle and going to prom and like all that stuff, and then the son teaching him how to play sports and all that. You get the best of both worlds for you.
I'm not getting it.
And listen, when it comes to the girls having girls issues, that's when you say, hey, you tell your wife, hey, this is on you.
You take over.
Yeah, you take over. My wife that's where she's,
What's one mistake that fathers make that they don't realize that they're making it?
Ooh.
Maybe a mistake that you made, or just something that you've picked up from conversations with other father figures.
Mistake that fathers make. I mean, I don't know. I guess it would depend on everyone's own personality and stuff. But I'm trying to think of like a personal experience.
A personal mistake would hit home. Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, my kids are so young. I don't know if I've really made any mistake. I don't want to get. Oh God, I wish you didn't ask this. I'm not going to get into this, but I don't want to because you'll be banned from YouTube. But for my daughter's sake, I think I thought I was doing the right thing, but I made a mistake on getting her V's so soon, and I think that's what changed things for her. You know what I'm saying? Vaccine.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
again, I'm not trying to get political.
Gotcha.
I'm not trying to do all that and go down that road. Everyone
Canceled.
has to. Yeah. You're going to be banned. This episode won't even air because YouTube's going to ban you because I said the word vaccine. But I think for me that's the only thing But I didn't do it intentionally. Like I thought that's what. And again, I'm not saying that's what caused this and that, but I will tell you this: my daughter was not born with it. My daughter was completely normal, had all of her words, made her eye contact, whatever. After the 18 to 20 month period, when you get a certain round of things, everything changed after that. And my son, we did completely the opposite.
Yeah.
But again, it's too early to say. I don't want to. What's it? Put the cart before the horse. But God willing, hopefully everything is all right. But my daughter, when she was my son's age, was completely normal. So I don't, again, I don't until I see everything's good. That's when everything's good. But that's like literally, again, that's not something that like I intentionally did or whatever. I thought that was what people do, and I just have it's not a mistake. It's just something I live with regret because I don't know, Other than that, I think the only problem that people make is putting other things before their kids. Whether it's whatever, whether it's a work, a decision. There's a lot of selfish dads out there too that I don't think there's a lot. There's some people out there that aren't good fathers.
Yeah.
I don't respect them.
So you mentioned a regret or a mistake or what have you. Is there anything that you would go back in time and do differently if you could?
As far as fatherhood,
Yeah.
it's that.
Just that. Yeah.
That I would not put all that unnecessary, in my opinion, poison into my kid without, if I knew what I knew now, and I'm not blaming on that, although I think it's that, but I just don't think it's necessary. Other than that, I mean, no, I can't think for my daughter. I mean, my life has been crazy for her. For my son, he's only 9 months old. We've done everything different, and everything so far is good. And no, so from a father, I'm just I'm kind of a young father, so I haven't really gotten to the trying age where like, you think it's hard now, but wait, when these kids are in middle school age with bullying, or when they're in the high school age of drama, and even after that, you wish they marry someone that's a good person.
Yeah.
You wish they get a career. Like, so I'm just too young into this to have any kind of regret or anything like that.
So before we transition to like the final questions that I'm going to ask you, looking back on your grandfathers and looking at your father and how he raised you, are there certain like habits, mannerisms, certain things that you do that your father did or your grandparents did that you currently do with your children? Like,
with my children?
Yeah. Like, is there a certain look that you give your kids that your father gave you growing up? Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
I
Like,
give my daughter a look all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't process with her. She's fearless. She don't give a shit. She gives me the look right back, and it's like, I'm still gonna do you cannot scare her.
Yeah.
She gets like scared really quick. She covers her ears, and then all of a sudden, it happened to me today. And the nanny, I have a nanny for my son. She was hysterically laughing because I was telling her he was taking a nap upstairs. She wanted to. If you go up my staircase, you can look into the foyer and there's a mirror there. So that's how she gets eye level with the mirror. So she's up there and she's jumping and flapping and making noises, and he's trying to sleep. And I keep saying like, stop. Like, what are you doing? He's sleeping. Like, She just doesn't process it. So like, you can get as mad as you want, but she just doesn't understand. And she just goes right back up and does it again. But as far as like for what I do with my kids, so my grandfathers is hard because grandfathers naturally, they spoil grandkids. So like, I didn't really learn any parenting tips from them.
Yeah.
My father, it's just kind of like I think I'm similar to my father as far as he's a big prankster, and that's how I am. He's the type of person that will just be sitting there. Ooh, He's the type of person that'll just be sitting there, and there could be a kid playing with something, and he'll take like a softball or something and just throw it at them, hit him in the head, and then he'll like go like this. I do that all the time. I
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
that up from him. But that's the fun side. But I'm also the disciplinary, definitely. I don't like. My dad never let us act in front of him, at least. Like, obviously, he couldn't control us when we weren't with him, but he never let us in front of him act like reckless and stupid. And I just want my kids to be respectable, and I would never let them like do anything that I wouldn't approve of in front
Act
of me.
reckless in front of other
Oh
people.
my God,
Yeah.
I would nip that right in the butt.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the disciplinarian in out of me and my wife, 100%.
That's the opposite
Sometimes
with me.
like,
I'm the fun dad. Like I'm like the
no, like
you
I
know.
am, but like I said, there's bound. Like
Yeah.
we'll go to like my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law's house, and my daughter doesn't know better, and everyone has accepted that, but it doesn't mean it's right. Like if she's jumping on furniture and stuff, I'm like, you gotta at least like try to teach her. Like, listen, you're in someone else's house, you don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not the type that'll just dismiss and be like, oh well, she doesn't know better. Like you got to still try. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm just like that. I'm big on like discipline to an extent. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a drill sergeant, but I mean, come on, you have to have some kind of structure.
But those are things, those are habits that you picked up from, you know, your grandfathers
dad
being
that was
in the
my dad.
military, boxing, your
No,
father.
it was but
Yeah.
again, you got to realize like grandparents spoil grandkids.
Yeah, that's right.
Parents aren't like that
Yeah.
for their own kids, really. So my dad was.
So the
Again,
discipline
he
is
wasn't
from
a
your father.
He wasn't
Yeah.
a drill sergeant, but like we just knew. He'd give you a look, and we knew. Like, all right, we're doing something we're not supposed to, so just stop now. Like that's kind of how you know. And it's funny. I saw this thing. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was this guy. Dude. I love this quote. It was on Instagram. It came across my thing, and I always look it up. And the guy goes, "If you raise your children, one day you'll be able to spoil your grandchildren. But if you spoil your children, one day you'll be raising your grandchildren." That was, and it's so true.
Damn.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
It is so true. And I'm
Say that again one more time.
so he says, if you raise your children, one day you'll be able to spoil your grandchildren. But if you spoil your children, one day you'll be raising your grandchildren. And I take it like that means you let your kids do whatever they want with no repercussions. They're either going to turn out to, I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Like it's going
yeah,
to turn
yeah.
out to be screw ups, or they're never going to get a
Makes
job
sense.
or whatever. And then you're going to be taking care of their kids. And I love that. And I literally,
That's powerful.
when I hear that, it just like, I loved it. And I'm like, that's me. Like, that's so me. Like, I'm going to raise my kids. And then when my son has kids or whatever, when I have hopefully grandkids one day, I'll get to spoil them.
I gotta get better with disciplining. Like I'll paint a funny story.
It's way harder though when they're little.
I know.
Kids are so little.
I know. It happened yesterday. My son was just doing something reckless, hitting either me or my wife, and me trying to discipline him. This is what it looks like. Stop! Stop it right now!
You're louder than I am.
And I'm like
Jesus.
laughing. I'm smirking the entire time that I'm yelling at him, and he's seeing that, and so he starts laughing. And my wife's like, "You're a fucking idiot."
You're horrible.
And she takes him into his bedroom, puts him in timeout, and I just hear her yelling at him, "You can't do that! You can't do that!" And I'm just, meanwhile, I'm outside the room. I'm laughing still.
You scared the shit out of me just now. It's funny. No one wants to be the bad guy. Who wants to be it? But I mean, especially when they're that young.
Yeah. I'm the good cop in this household.
Yeah, you're the good cop. Oh my God. Is your wife going to see this?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Whatever.
Oh my God. All right. So, what are 3 things that you could pass on to your children? 3 things that'll outlive you.
I don't understand.
So, okay. Let me just read this. If you could pass 3 things on to your children, 3 lessons that outlive you, what would they be?
Okay. In no specific order, 3 things. It would be work hard, be loyal.
Let me guess the last one. Do the right thing.
Yes. I was gonna say I swear to God, when you just said that, in my head I was conflicted. Originally I was gonna say be kind, but if I say do the right thing, that kind of covers everything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Covers your all
100%.
the bases.
It's
Yeah.
100% work hard, be loyal, do the right thing. And I mean, if you're doing the right thing, you're working hard and being loyal. But like, 100%, you gotta work hard. Loyalty is huge. That's always been my whole thing.
Yeah.
Loyalty. I think if you're not a loyal person, you're
You're a
you're
scumbag.
scum to me.
Yeah.
You're nothing. I have no tolerance for betrayal or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and then, do the right thing, which falls under be kind to people, help people, whatever. Like, be compassionate.
Why are those three things so important to you?
That's just it's how I was raised, but even if I wasn't raised like that, that would be how I am. That's just, those are like the things I picked up in life that I think are most important. I don't think there's anything worse than betrayal, and I don't think there's anything better than being loyal.
Yeah.
And I think that if you went back and asked any kid I grew up with, any one of my friends, any one of my family members, anybody that knows me, they'll tell you that I'm loyal. And that's probably my biggest thing, that I'm loyal. And,
So work hard,
I've
be
always
loyal,
worked hard. I was always loyal.
do the right
And
thing.
do the right thing. I didn't always do the right thing, but I do the right thing.
Love it. Last question, and then we can just have conversation. When your children become parents, what is one thing that you hope they do because they watch you do it?
When they become parents, be there any opportunity they can for their kids, and support them. I'm not a big, like, blindly support your kids and be a yes man. I think when your kids are wrong, you have to let them know they're wrong. I'm not also the type of person that would abandon my kids. But I think you just have to be there for your kids and accept responsibility that you're the reason why they're here. And that's a big burden, and that you have to work hard and you have to take care of them until they get to their point. Like, my whole goal is that, like, I set up these accounts for my kids that, like, when they turn 18, my investments, they get this and this and this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, now I have to like, kind of teach them as they get older, like, listen, like, you have responsibilities, this and that. I'll always take care of my kids. Like, so anything that my kids get, like communion, baptism, birthdays, whatever, my kids don't pay for things, right? I pay for things. So any dollar they've ever gotten from anything, Christmas, whatever it is, I invest it for them.
Yeah.
And when they're 18, they're going to get a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking care of them until then. But my thing would be, like, once you turn 18, we got to figure out, what are you doing? So you graduate high school, right? Are you going right into the workforce? Are you going to the military? Are you going to college?
What's your purpose?
What are
Yeah.
you doing? Because if you're doing nothing, I'm not supporting you. If you're at least doing something, if you're going to school, I don't mind still supporting you. I don't mind, like, but, like, you have to have some kind of drive or whatever.
Yeah. What memories for both your son and your daughter are you looking forward to the most in the future?
My daughter would be just the progress she makes. I mean, if we can get to the point where she has even limited words, I would be so happy. I'm not expecting, she's 7 years old, I'm not expecting her to be full-blown talking. But even if she makes some kind of progress where we have limited words, where we can communicate, she can tell me if something bothers her, that's my goal at this point. For my son, it's to be a good, strong, honest man, take care of your sister no matter what. And that's from when I'm present or when I'm gone. You make sure no one, messes with her. You always take care of her. Be a gentleman. Be a good person like my son. Like, I just want to see him do good. I want him, as long as he's doing good, I don't care what he does. I don't care if he's into sports. I don't care if he's into something else. I really don't care. I just want him,
I love it, man. So, last question. What does greatness mean to you as a father, as a great father? What is that?
So I think that I'm not saying I'm a great father, but I think a lot of fathers assume they're great because they do the basics for their kids. And I don't agree with that. That's your job. You don't get credit because you bought your kids something. You don't get credit because you stuck around during tough times.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah.
That's being a father. You don't get credit for that. I think greatness as a father is when you go above and beyond. Like when you do all of what you're already required and supposed to do, what's expected
The
of
bare
you.
minimum.
The bare minimum where you don't get credit for that. That was your choice to have a kid. That's what you're supposed to do. But the greatness comes in is when you go beyond. Like you really help them. You help them start a business. You give them advice. You guide them the right way. You're out there throwing the baseball with them, the football with them. If they like a sport and they're really into it, you're there with them trying to make them the best they can be, but not like being too much, not being an asshole and a drill sergeant. It's, you got to make sure they still love doing it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, so you don't want to be like, you want to like encourage them. And I think that's like the extra. Again, I kind of feel like you should be doing that anyway as a father. But if you can do the extra, like again, I'm not saying I'm a great father, but what I'm doing with my two kids, their accounts, their investment accounts, is that like they have no idea. They're gonna wake up one day, be 18 years old, and have a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's not what a lot of dads aren't doing that.
Yeah.
But like they're gonna be ahead of the game. They're gonna be able to use that however they want. Pay for a wedding, buy your first house, buy an investment property, buy a car, and pay for college. Do whatever.
Yeah.
And honestly, I plan to, if they do decide to go that route, I'm hoping that I can be in a position where I surprise them and just pay for the college, and that money is for their wedding or for their house or whatever, just so they have that. So I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
So, do you want to do the outro for this one?
What's that?
So like, kind of like the outro is,
My posture's horrible. I'm like leaning. I'm trying to be like.
Pretty much what I do at the end of every episode, just, thanking people for watching and listening, and like doing like a little, like, if you got any value out of this, share it with a loved one, a friend, or whatnot. But like make it personal, obviously.
Okay.
Like I brought you on for a reason, like obviously,
Well, this is a Father's Day episode,
Yeah.
so let's start off by wishing everybody a happy Father's Day if it applies. I wish you a happy Father's Day. Chris is a father of 2 now, but he just had a beautiful daughter, so an extra special Father's Day for you. You got 2.
Thank you.
I want to give a shout out to my father and my brother, and I can give a shout out to a bunch of people. I'm not going to do that, but I'll be with them on Sunday. My brother's at my brother's house, which he's a great cook, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Happy Father's Day to all the good fathers, the ones that are there for your kids, the ones that are always present, the ones that go above and beyond. If you're deadbeat, I'm not wishing you a happy Father's Day. You don't deserve it. But yeah,
all the bum fathers aren't watching this, so let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Just to hate it, unless they're haters, they're watching. But I would encourage everybody. I don't think you get enough credit, to be honest with you. So I'm happy you asked me to do this outro. You see at the end of Chris's episodes, he always is shouting out his guests, and he's always saying, go follow the guest. And, if you're interested, here's their Instagram, here's their Facebook, this and that. But I think everyone should really be focused on following Chris because he's helping all of us. He has small businesses on here, and it's called small business for a reason. We're not huge franchises. We're not gazillionaires. We're small businesses that are trying to make it, and he's our support, and he's putting our name out there, and he's building a channel that, it not only helps him, but the main thing is he's helping everyone else. So I would encourage everyone to make sure you follow Chris's Instagram, his Facebook, his podcast channel, YouTube channel, everything, because he's really helping the little guy, which is me and every other guest that was in this seat.
Appreciate that, bro.
No, absolutely. And I appreciate being here. When you asked me to come back on for a Father's Day episode, I made sure that I could do it, and I was very excited to do it, and also honored that you asked me. So I'm happy to be here with you. You know me, I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
You can go until this battery dies. I'll keep going.
Oh,
But so in closing, I would just want to, again, thank you for everything, because you do really put us out there. That one clip got over 30
Dude, it's
something
crazy. Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite
thousands
clip.
of likes. Like I've never had. I'm not saying that's viral because I'm nobody, but like, I've never had.
Yeah.
My social media's never gotten that. I got people following me, and you know how many people messaged me? Like messaged me saying, "Oh, I know your situation, this and that." And I made sure I responded to every single person because I was like, they're going out of their way to message me. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. Like
Yeah.
I said, that was my first podcast.
It was a powerful
Now this
message.
is my second podcast.
Yeah, yeah. There you
know
go.
what? Hey, listen, I'm getting there.
The third one, maybe next month.
You figure it out. I'm in. I'm in.
Oh man, and I appreciate you coming on again, man. And
I appreciate you having me.
you know, I couldn't think of anyone better, you know, than you
No, I
for this
appreciate you.
particular episode.
I
You know,
appreciate
Father's
you.
Day.
Yeah.
Once again, you shouted them out. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Dad, my brother, who's also a father of 2. All the fathers out there. You guys don't get enough credit, honestly.
The father.
You know.
Listen, that's your biggest role if you're a father. I'm not trying to minimize being a husband because you can never forget about your wife and neglect your wife. Yeah, you know, you guys got married first. That's always going to be something. But when you bring kids into this life, be a good father. Always be there for them and do everything you can to change their life in a positive way. And you know, give them support and whether, you know, not only financial, but just give them moral support and always encourage them, always be there for them. That's the most important thing in the world. Being a father is my favorite role I've ever had.
Yeah.
Out of everything. I love being a father. I truly do.
You about to cry?
Never. No, not never, obviously. You see the last episode.
Oh man. We'll end it with that, but I do want to just reemphasize the 3 things that he would love to pass on to his kids. Work hard, be loyal, and do the right thing. And I mean, you can't get better than those 3 right there.
Don't snitch.
They cover. Don't snitch. Yeah.
That's doing the right thing, though.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Forge for Greatness with Angelo from Rizzitello Removals. Once again, I mean, he did the outro. I don't have to do it over again. Happy Father's Day. And once again, greatness isn't given. It is forged. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.